Welcome to Aloha New Book, a channel dedicated to sharing knowledge, life skills, and personal development. We hope the wisdom distilled from great books and Aloha New Book's accumulated experience will bring you valuable insights and inspiration in life. Are you watching this video while still having plenty of tasks left undone? Maybe you have an assignment due in a few days that you haven't started, a monthly report approaching its deadline that you haven't begun, bills for electricity and water about to be cut off because they haven't been paid, or a book you promised yourself to read last month, but you haven't even touched a page this month. At the beginning of the year, you set a list of goals with great enthusiasm, but now, with the year almost over, many of them remain unachieved. Often, we know full well that there are important tasks to be done, yet we choose to do non-urgent things or those that are purely for entertainment. For example, scrolling through Facebook, playing games, or watching movies, unaware of how many hours have slipped away, leaving the entire day unproductive. It's only when the deadline is right upon us that we finally start working, even staying up late to finish. And of course, the results are often less than satisfactory. I believe many of us have experienced this situation in life: procrastination. Procrastination is not a disease, but it's harder to cure than one. A survey shows that up to 25% of office workers are wasting time due to procrastination. Alarmingly, most of us believe that we are not part of that 25%. So why do we procrastinate so often? How can we completely overcome this habit to make our lives more enjoyable, give ourselves more time to rest and relax, and finish our work without the stress and discomfort of procrastination? Today, Aloha New Book will combine insights from two books, The Willpower Instinct and End Procrastination, to share with you how to uproot the habit of procrastination. Procrastination is a tough habit to break. What is procrastination, and why do we always procrastinate? When we procrastinate, we often have a mental inclination to shift our focus toward non-urgent or entertaining activities. But did you know that the deeper reason we lose control and indulge in distractions stems from our very own genetic makeup? Our brain loves doing things that bring immediate pleasure. When faced with two options, either being rational and doing important tasks that lead to long-term benefits, or enjoying instant gratification, our brain tends to choose the latter. That's because the second choice offers an immediate reward. At this point, the brain releases dopamine, which pushes us to continue enjoying the short-term pleasure. In ancient times, our ancestors primarily lived by hunting for food, fighting, and fleeing for survival. Simply eating enough to stay full in the moment brought joy, and the future was of little concern. Throughout evolution, this gene for seeking immediate gratification persisted and has been passed down to the present, making modern humans slaves to dopamine. Nowadays, countless sources of entertainment surround us, making it even harder to resist. French philosopher and psychologist Charles Pepin once said something truly thought-provoking. The life goal of most of us is to use our brain as little as possible. In the book Switch by Chip Heath and Dan Heath, it is explained that our brain has two components. The first is the elephant, representing emotions, and the second is the rider, representing rationality. Under normal circumstances, the rider controls the elephant, but when the elephant wants to go in a different direction, the small rider struggles to keep it in check. Imagine you've told yourself that you will wake up early to tackle a task approaching its deadline. But in the morning, when the alarm rings, your reason and emotions wrestle. When you turn off the alarm and go back to sleep, it's your rational mind being overpowered by the huge emotional elephant. Both the elephant and the rider are lazy. If they don't receive a strong command from you, they will settle into autopilot, meaning they will follow habitual patterns. In truth, procrastination arises from letting ourselves drift on autopilot, avoiding the challenge of breaking old habits. How to eliminate procrastination at its root. Many people suggest methods to overcome the habit of procrastination. These might include setting goals, removing distractions, or transforming your workspace into a quiet environment. While these strategies are great, most apply them only to address immediate procrastination. In the long run, it's hard to maintain these efforts because you may not fully understand how to control your emotional elephant and guide the rider of your rational mind. To eliminate procrastination, you need to address the root cause. The key is to tackle it from three aspects: awareness, emotion, and action. First, if you're unaware of your procrastination tendencies, controlling the rational rider within you will be challenging. The author of The Willpower Instinct introduced an excellent method called the ABCDE model, which helps you recognize your procrastination clearly. A is for activating event, the event that triggers procrastination. B is for beliefs, how you perceive the event. C is for consequences, the outcomes of your procrastination. D is for disputing irrational beliefs, re-examining and changing your misguided perceptions. E is for effect, improving your results. By following this model, you can better understand and address the underlying causes of procrastination, making it easier to overcome in the long term. For example, A is that you have a report due in 3 days. B is that you think, it's just the first day, I can do it tomorrow. C is the consequence. You only have 1 day left to complete the report, which results in a subpar outcome. Usually, procrastination leads you to stop at C, feeling upset and blaming yourself, or finding excuses like, I only had 1 day, I did my best. However, self-blame only damages your confidence, and making excuses creates a bad habit, blaming external factors and resisting change. You need to move on to D, reassessment. This doesn't mean thinking this task is too hard or this is too boring, I should do something else, but rather revisiting B, your perception of the situation. Ask yourself, why did I wait until the second day to start? I remember back in middle school, I had a year where my academic performance plummeted to the point that my parents were called to the school. The main reason was my habit of procrastination. After school, I would always play first and study later. Just before bedtime, I'd pull out my books, and sometimes I didn't finish my homework, so I'd copy my classmates' work the next morning. Meanwhile, my younger sister, who was only in 4th grade at the time, would get invited by her friends to play jump rope or dolls after school. Very tempting activities for a child, but she insisted on finishing her homework first before going out to play. I said to her, "Why are you so good and love studying so much?" Unexpectedly, she replied, "I don't love studying, but this is my responsibility. I need to finish my work so I can fully enjoy playing." Exactly. Why don't we finish our tasks first so we can enjoy our relaxation time afterward? Thinking back, my sister's actions as a 4th grader perfectly followed the ABCDE model. If a child in 4th grade can think and act this way, why can't you and I? Don't let the emotional elephant crush you. Become the rider. After all, procrastination typically falls into one of 3 scenarios. First scenario, you're worried about not doing well, so you keep putting off taking action, or you tell yourself that you need to be fully prepared before you start. For example, participating in a singing competition or speaking in front of a crowd. In reality, your anxiety stems from perfectionism. Here, perfectionism isn't about pursuing excellence. Rather, it's about caring too much about what others think of you. You want to maintain a perfect image in the eyes of others, and this fear of failure causes you to hesitate. But the truth is, not many people are paying that much attention to you. Only you care about how you perform and how you appear. There's a great saying, done is better than perfect. Just start and finish it. It's much better than striving for perfection. In fact, the more you aim for perfection, the worse the result often becomes. Therefore, we need to control our anxiety and fear of failure and take action immediately. Second scenario, you procrastinate because the task is too difficult for your current abilities, or it demands a lot of time and effort, making it hard to get started. For example, creating some kind of content. When faced with a challenging task, our emotions often include anxiety, which can lead to stress. It's not that we don't want to do it, but that we feel incapable. However, as the saying goes, all roads lead to success. Every task has multiple ways to reach completion and several methods to tackle it. It just depends on your willingness. The most crucial thing that can help you overcome the emotional obstacle of anxiety is motivation. When you procrastinate on difficult tasks, it's because you lack enough motivation. Remind yourself that what you're doing matters to you, and then you'll be able to take action. Have you noticed that when you procrastinate until the last moment and can no longer avoid the task, you still manage to get it done? perhaps it's not as difficult as you originally thought. So give yourself that extra push and get started right away. Third scenario, you procrastinate because the task doesn't interest you, making it hard to find the motivation to do it. For example, you know that reading books is beneficial, but you still haven't started reading, or you're aware that you're overweight but haven't committed to exercising. When facing this type of procrastination, our emotions tend to be indifference and boredom, leading to laziness. If procrastination seems scary because it entices our brain to seek instant gratification, it also has a charming side. If you know how to use it well, it can make your life more enjoyable. For example, maybe you don't like reading at first, but you love listening to music and relaxing in a cafe. Try combining them. Music and a pleasant environment can trigger more dopamine in your brain, which makes completing the task of reading faster and more enjoyable. By blending things that stimulate dopamine with tasks you aren't naturally drawn to, you might find those boring tasks to be surprisingly fun. Once we have recognized the issue of procrastination and understood the emotions behind it, the final step is to take action. I often tell my students that to succeed, you need to clear your mindset. Only when you correctly perceive your procrastination and control your emotions can you take the right actions. The key to overcoming procrastination in this final step is to completely eliminate distractions. Find a time when no one can disturb you, turn off all notifications, and use tools like Pomodoro or Forest to help you stay focused. However, if even these methods don't help you sit still and you keep seeking distractions, you can try a highly effective technique that I've personally used. Say out loud, "Stop." The moment your hand reaches for the phone, shout it out. It acts as a command, making the emotional elephant inside you obedient. So the method to completely end procrastination has been laid out. If you want to eliminate the habit of procrastination at its root, you must deeply understand yourself, control your emotions, and act immediately. Give it a try. If you succeed, comment below so we can discuss and improve together. I hope you'll soon conquer procrastination and take control of your life.